The strategic approach to turning your dreams into reality. Now, for some people, I know that it sounds kind of vague, and perhaps it's too good to be true. But believe me when I tell you this, okay? Every kind of goal that's out there is totally achievable as long as you have calculated your moves, okay? And I'm here to help you jumpstart your journey to turning your dreams into reality. So what I would like you to do is to just relax. And I know how distracted you are right now with all the kinds of noise out there, like not just in social media, but perhaps you're probably watching with your Netflix on your PC, or your iPad is on, or your TV is on. So that we could really concentrate on creating a really awesome productivity plan for your coming year 2020. I just want you to focus on me and what we're going to discuss today. If you're planning to do something different or big this coming year, I'm asking you to give me your undivided attention, so that you'd be able to visualize what it is that I'm talking about. And just put your phone down if you're watching this on your PC, or enlarge the screen in your mobile phone if you're watching this on your mobile phone. Yeah, there you go. Before anything else, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Melissa Profeta, and I help personal brands create a profitable income stream through digital offers and grow their reach using effective media strategies. I'm also a mother of two wonderful kids. I named them Misha and Magnus. Yeah, I'm also the co-founder of Social Media Academy, and I specialize in making personalities become an authoritative mini celebrity of their industry. I'm also the author of Explode Your Influence: How to Turn Your Personal Brand into Wealth, which I just recently launched about a month ago. Right now it's sold out, but we're coming up with new stocks. So it's gonna be available for ordering again. So in total, I have 5 different business ventures. As you can see in your screens right now, these are some of the businesses that I co-own or co-founded. So I would say I never would have done it. I never would have done any of my achievements now if I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about, and there are so many people who can attest to that. Okay, so I just want to remind you that this training is 100% free, and you can share it to anyone who you think would benefit this. Perhaps your close friends, relatives, or partners. Just feel free to share it on your timelines as well. I also dare anyone whose intention is to claim this strategy is theirs, or who wants to copy this training and present as theirs, to make sure that they've got several milestones first. I've been applying this strategy even before I landed in the online space, and it's something that my father has inspired me to do when he asked me, how are you going to achieve that? He was first pertaining to my goals, the goals that I told him. So let's begin. I know that you have plenty of goals in your mind, and I am 100% sure of that, but have you ever thought of how you intend to achieve them? If, say, your income goal is 100,000 pesos and you are earning 25,000 pesos now, how do you get to 100,000? Right? I know that that's some of the questions that are popping inside your mind, okay? Or let's say you're currently a general virtual assistant now, and you want to become an owner of a social media marketing agency. How do you even do that? Okay, so these are like common things that you're probably asking yourself. So like if you're gonna come to think of it, can you just do it the next day without thinking of how it's going to affect your current life status? Or do you have the resources to begin managing this social media marketing agency that you want to have? Or let's say perhaps you are a financial advisor and you want to start having another stream of income online, but how do you do it? Do you just offer services you're not familiar with? Is that how you do it? Well, I'm gonna be blunt with you. The truth is, you've had big goals last year, okay? And you weren't able to achieve all of them because you were distracted and out of focus. Now, sadly, if you keep on doing the same thing as if you're just living in the now, you won't be able to live your ideal future. I'm already telling you that. I guarantee you that. Unless, of course, you rely on the lottery and game of chances. Now, that's 1 in a million. And, you know, chances are things you can't control. Okay? I'm more of the type of person who focuses on the things that I can control. It's hard to rely on chances, really. But without a strategy, you're pretty much wasting your most precious possession, and that is time. Just want to let you, or remind you actually, that you're not always 25, you're not always 22, perhaps you're 22 now, but you're not always 22, you're not always 35, or whatever your age is, you are not always in the same age. You're getting older and you're not getting younger. So, if you don't want to keep wasting your time, then stop. Okay? Again, then fucking stop relying on the game of chances. Stop fucking around and just living in the now before it's too late. Alright? It's true that you only live once, so don't waste your time doing things that will risk your tomorrow, right? You can get wasted today, work the next day, spend your time with family the following day. You can do all of that at the same time. You just have to know how to approach things in life. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna give to you right now. Let's get into the meat of the content, which will just be very quick. I'll be presenting to you the strategic approach to turning your dreams into reality. Let's do this. Okay, so step number 1. Set your big goal. I would like you to visualize what it is that you want to happen by the end of the year, next year. So that would be December 2020. Alright? Write it down. You have to be as specific as possible. And begin with, like this. Begin writing it like this way, like December 2020. I am already a social media agency owner. Or let's say by December 2020, I already have a social media agency, or like a pension, okay? Perhaps your big goal is to, you know, own a social media marketing agency, or your big goal is to become an MDRT, or it could be to start becoming known as an expert in a specialized skill that you love. It really depends. Okay, you just have to make sure that you have a big goal set up for next year. Alright? So next, you're gonna need to assess your current status or your situation. So how are you gonna do that? Like, think of it this way. In your current situation, before you pursue the lifestyle you want to have, you have to ask yourself, do you need a job, a career, or a calling? A job is your means of generating income to bring food to your family's table. Okay. A career, on the other hand, is something that, you know, something that excites you on a daily basis, and perhaps it's what makes you feel like you're living, right? Instead of being bored or just burn out. A calling, on the other hand, is one thing that defines you as a person, and a kind of imprint you want to have on earth. So say it's okay if you're not going to be paid that much, but anyways, you're going to be able to do something that you really, really love to do. So that's a calling for me. To me, I'll be honest with you, Depends on whatever status you are at right now, but you could go through all of these and you can start having a job first, right? You can find a job that will help you bring food to your family's table and be so good in your job until you can land into a career that you really want to have, and then you can start sharing your gifts to the world, and probably like after a certain period of time where you're able to achieve your income goal, you can start pursuing your calling, right? For now, instead of constant complaining, I want you to think, what is your current status? Assess yourself. Okay, so like, what's your starting point? Would it make sense for you to have a job for now? Are you at the point of your life where you are sure that you can still keep your family or your physiological needs and can concentrate on pursuing a career? You have to choose your starting step. Okay, when I say assessment of current situation, you have to also write it down. So put it this way: current situation. Alright, so right now you can say, now you're currently earning 25,000 per month, okay, as a VA. Okay, but like for you, it depends on what store you are or what situation you're in. Could be different on the month, could be different as a what. I don't know what segment. You just have to write it down, okay? And another thing that you're gonna do when it comes to assessing yourself is this. So because we're gonna talk about setting your income goal and your skill goal, right? So I need you to really assess every single thing or every single aspect that there is in your life. So with 25,000, how are you spending that at the moment? So you can put here 25K and then spending habits. Spending, saving, whatever you want to call it. Spending, saving, habits. You're gonna write all of it down. Now, at the same time, aside from the expenses that you have in your life, I also need you to make sure that you know exactly what is happening in your day or in your week. So the next thing that you're going to put here is in a day, this is what I do. So you can go as specific as possible, and then the next one is in a week, this is what I do. Okay, so you could have a journal, and you could have your me time, really think this through. Okay, so this part right here, this is step 3 already. This day, this is what I do. In a week, this is what I do. It's called breaking down of your habits. Okay, break down what habits you have, and what a day in your life usually looks like, and what's the usual week for you. How does that look like in your life? All right. So you have to fill it out again. Number 1, you have to have your big goal. You're going to assess your current situation, like with this one right now. Let's say you're a VA at 25K a month. Is that a job, a career, or a calling? Which one makes sense the most for you? Okay, do you need a job now? Do you need a career, or are you okay to have a calling or pursue your calling? And then you're gonna write down your spending or saving habits with all the 25K. What are you doing with it right now? And then in a day, this is what I do. Like, you have to really break down the things that you do on a daily basis and on a weekly basis. So this is going to be how your assessment is going to look like. Okay? So step number 4, you have to assess what's missing. All right? You have to figure out what's currently missing or lacking in your life that inhibits you from achieving your big goal? You have to answer the question, what do I need to become or to achieve blank? Right? Okay, so with our example, it's about having a social media agency, right? So become a social media agency owner. This is what we have in our example. So like you're gonna need to understand and know what it is that's missing in you and what it is that you lack that needs to be filled. Do you need a particular skill set? Do you need to learn how to do something? Do you need a particular service? Do you need to start building something? Like those are the common questions, right? And by the way, for the people who are watching this, I've linked you to the PDF version of this video mini training, which you could also look at while I'm talking here. And you could just download that, like pause this video right now and then download that so that you could follow through what I'm talking about, okay? Aside from what is shown on my screen, right? So for example, as a social media agency owner, what are the common skills that you need? All right. So let's say, for example, do you know how to do social media marketing? It's the number one thing. So let's focus on the needs first. To build a social media agency, to really become a social media agency owner, you've got to learn how to do social media marketing. That's going to be from handling a client from 0 to 100. So when I say 0 to 100, like what needs to be done from scratch until you start creating campaigns and really managing campaigns. What is it that you should do? Okay. So next, when it comes to social media agency handling, do you know how to do sales? Do you have a process in place? Process of getting clients. Alright, do you have that? Right? Because it's an important thing when you start handling your social media agency. Like, remember,
there's no honey if there's no money. I think that's the right quote, right? No money, no honey, and vice versa. No honey, no money, right? Anyway, just correct me if I'm wrong. If I said that quote wrong, alright.
So social media agency, another need that a social media marketing agency should have. Okay, so systems and processes. All right. What else? At least you should have a support network. Right. Okay, so let's just say that these are the things that you need in order for you to operate a profitable social media agency. Right. So you're gonna ask yourself, like, with these needs, what are the things that I already have? I have. Alright. So needs and then haves. Alright. So let's say you are currently a general VA at this point and you want to have a social media agency. To start owning a social media marketing, perhaps you know how to run systems and processes. Let's say you already have that. You already know that. You know how to handle sales. Okay, you have processes in place. Processes for client acquisition. Okay. So let's just assume that these are the only things that you have at this point. Okay, and these are the things that are needed. So, like, do you think with what I have written on your screens now, have I spotted what's missing? Yeah, right? So I don't have the skills to have or to run social media marketing campaigns. So this is something that I am missing. I am missing this. This is something that I need, right? and support network. I also don't have that right now. Okay, so let's just assume that I'm this person. Okay, so you guys could follow through. So, like at this point, after finding out what things you lack, I'm breaking down what your normal day looks like. We're gonna go back to whatever it is that you have written, and we're gonna look for a habit that can be replaced as a time for you to learn, adapt, or build a particular factor that will help you achieve your big goal, which is to have a social media agency. So what I mean by that is, because right now you already know that you lack the skill in social media marketing. So we've got to find a way for you to start learning that, so it becomes a habit, and in the long run it's something that's going to contribute to your big goal. Okay, so let's go back the one that you have written earlier. For example, with this one, in a day this is what I do, right? So let's assume that you have identified that on a daily basis you are spending 3 hours doing what? Scrolling on TikTok or scrolling on the Facebook, right? Let's say you have identified that. So like on step number 5, which I call omit a habit and replace, in order for you to start learning that skill that you want to be really, really good at, you've got to find out which particular routine or habit do you have in a day that you could remove and replace it with your learning time. Okay, so let's say for example you will find out that you have 3 hours of watching Netflix. 3 hours of watching Netflix. You're gonna omit that, okay? So the 3 hours of watching Netflix, you can use that to start learning a new skill, or to start building your new business venture, or to start adapting to a new environment. That's exactly what you can do with that extra 3 hours. Okay, so now that you know what you need to do, or what you need to have, or what you need to learn, the next thing that you need to, or let's say you also have found out that there is a schedule or a time that you can use to fill what's missing, and to help you achieve your big goal, which is social media agency owner. You can now start setting your skill and income goals. Okay, let me show you how it's done. All right. Okay. So we're gonna begin by writing down, like perhaps you have a calendar with you. I would advise you to look at a calendar. That would be good, or you could just write it down. Okay, so we have January, February, and then we have March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Alright. So this is like you writing your thoughts out and planning for your year. Okay. So you have 3 hours a day that you can spend to learn a new skill, right? So you have, by January and February, you have 3 hours per day for learning. Right? 3 hours per day for learning. So when it comes to learning, it depends on you. You should know this within yourself. How long does it take you to learn a particular skill? Like for me, I usually give myself about 3 months or like 2 months to learn the fundamentals, and then the immersion or the application is gonna start right after those 2 months. Okay, so let's just use my strategy. All right, say for example, or like I mean my persona. So let's say January, you're gonna learn social media marketing and how it's done from 0 to 100, how to really run a social media agency. That's all the things that you're gonna learn for the whole January and February. So you have like 3 hours a day to do all kinds of learning. All right, and by March, you have already adapted a new skill. Okay, and let's say your main goal is, by the time, remember your main goal is to have a social media agency by December. This is your goal. See, I've written all down. So January, February, and right now you're currently earning about 25K. Alright, so for December, your goal is to earn 100K per month. Right, starting in December. Let's just assume that that is your goal, okay? It depends on your timeline. It's totally customizable. It depends on your capacity or capability. You gauge yourself, okay? So by March, you've already adapted that marketing skill. And by June, what you want to do is start offering social media marketing as a service. Okay, so it's gonna become your specialty. So what are you gonna do by April and May, or starting March actually? You're gonna look for an expert whom you can shadow with, so you could get yourself in what I call immersion learning. So you could apply every single thing that you've just learned in the real world. Okay, so by April and May, you're an intern. April and May, you're an intern. And for interns, mostly most of the time, they just give allowances. It totally depends. So let's just assume at that point that you've snatched an intern role and they are giving you about 10,000 allowance per month. So that's an extra 10,000 for you. So from 25K, since you have adopted a new skill and you're currently a general VA and you're going to start doing an intern thing, so plus 10, that gives you 35K. So see, you've already increased your income. So that's April. And then May, since you're still an intern, you still have 35K. Right. So by June, all right, you are going to start offering social media marketing as a service, and you're totally confident that you can handle any kind of client. So by June, you're gonna start acquiring clients. All right, start getting clients, and by July, you've got to make sure that you're starting to bag or build your prospect list or your pool of leads. Okay, it depends on your strategy and how you're going to do that. It's a separate talk. But let's just assume at this point, by June, you're still the intern. In July, you're already looking for clients. You're doing lots of discovery calls, all about client acquisition. So by August, you have bagged, congratulations, you have now bagged your first client out of your efforts in reaching out clients. Boom, you've closed one. So let's assume that the amount that you are offering is 25K per client. So that's new client plus one new client. Alright, so 25K plus your current income, which is 35K. So by August, your income has now increased to 60, right? So let's say you have continued your acquisition practice. You now have a sales process in place, all right? And then you got another client. So plus one client again for social media at 25K. So that's 25K again plus your existing income, which is 60. So now that gives you 85K. Right? So you're increasing your current goal. All right? So come October, so you already have how many clients? You have 3 in total. So 1, 2 clients, and then one intern type of client. So October, you have one client again at 25K plus your existing income of 85K. So that now gives you 110K. So how many clients do you have in total? 4. Right? So you have your intern clients or your intern expert slash your mentee there. And then you have your 3 clients. Right? So you're going to do some kind of assessments within yourself if you want to leave that expert that you're working with. Okay, so let's say by November, you're already on the hunt for setting up your team, hunting for team members. All right, because you have already adapted the skill of understanding and learning how to acquire clients on the get-go. So you're now looking for another person who's going to be part of your team so that you can keep on acquiring new clients. And so the workload is something that you're going to divide with your team at this point. Okay, so let's assume that after all of your efforts, you have hired 1, or let's say 2 people. By November, you've hired 2 new people, hired 2 people, and got 2 more clients. So at this point, you have a total of 6 clients. Come December, you have 6 clients, and you have a total of 3 people in your agency. Mini agency. Alright? So what happens to you by December? So by December, you are now a certified social media agency owner. You have 6 clients and you have 2 team members working with you. See? So that's how you plan out your entire year. Alright? Now, I know that it's gonna sound, it looks like it's easy. It's easier said than done. Yeah, that's the usual thing that people are gonna say. But, like, with this kind of plan, it already gives you an overview of what needs to be done on that particular month. What are the action items that you need to do on that particular month. Alright, what milestones are you gonna hit for that particular month? So remember, when I say this, the planning thing doesn't start during the start of the year. Planning starts December. Actually, it's November. Like for me, I usually plan the year by November, and then start working on the goals that I want to achieve by January. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that the planning is not January. Okay, planning is before the year starts. So once it hits January 1, 2, or whatever, January of whatever year, you already know how to approach that year. Okay?
So keep in mind that planning starts before the new year begins. So that's going to fall either October, November, or December. So by Q4, you already have a game plan of what your next year is going to look like, or how are you going to begin it.
So step number 7. Step number 7 is for you to apply the strategy that you just learned and really start setting your goals strategically as early as now before the year ends. Okay, I would say that you have to stop relying on the bahala na strategy that Filipinos are very adept to. Like, too many people have risked and wasted their lives achieving nothing. Okay, achieving nothing, like what I said, using that bahala na route. All right, and it's something that you shouldn't be doing. Next, I want to commend you for finishing the mini training up until this point. Congratulations! It really means that you're just, serious about this thing that you're gonna do this 2020. So continue dreaming big and always think that you can materialize whatever it is that you are visualizing. But like at this point, since you already know the strategy, you have to start being more strategic in setting your goals, and so you can make sure that you're able to achieve all of them. Okay, remember,
You only have a year. You only have 1 year. Or 1 year.
remember that you're not getting younger. Okay, you're getting older, so you have to make sure that you are maximizing your time. Make the most out of your time. All right. By the way, I have a mini PDF of, just a reminder, I have a mini PDF of this video training. It's something that you can download and you can go through the training yourself while at home. Like, you can rewatch this again using the PDF, like watch or like read while watching, and then have a pen beside you. Just simply go to the link that I'm going to put in this description or the caption below. I just click that, and the PDF is for free. Yeah, that's all for today. This has been Melissa Profeta, your profitable personal brand mentor and influential branding strategist. Now signing off. Thank you for watching. Bye.